welcome you all to our online lesson. My name is Big Ben Obuagu. So we continue from where we stopped the last time we met. So the title of our topic today says the simple equation involving brackets. So at the end of today's lesson, our aim will be to be able to solve the simple equation involving the use of brackets. So in our previous class, students, we defined the simple equation and we state the methodologies used for solving the simple equation. So then we said the simple equation consists of an expression with an unknown quantity on the left-hand side of the equation connected to another quantity on the right-hand side of the equation with an equality sign. So then we also state the methodologies used for solving the simple equation. Firstly, if you could recall, we said we have the balancing method, and secondly, we have the collection of the like terms method. But in our today's lesson, students, we'll be discussing the simple equation involving the use of brackets. So here we go. These types of equation involve the use of brackets. Here we are allowed to open the brackets and solve using any method of our choice, if not specified. I come again. In the simple equation involving brackets, here these types of equation involve the use of brackets. Here we are allowed to open the bracket first, then we now solve using any method of our choice, if not specified. Remember, in our last lesson we said we have two methods for solving the simple equation. Firstly, we have the balancing method, and secondly, we have the collection of like terms method. So we have some examples here to be solved using any method of our choice. So we have solve the following simple equation involving brackets. But here we're going to be solving these questions here using any method of our choice. So the first one here we have is 2 in bracket x plus 5 minus 12 is equals to 4. Second, we have 3 in bracket a minus 2 plus 2a is equals to 24. The third one here we have 4 in bracket 2c minus 5 is equals to minus 12. Now take note, for the in the first question we are meant to obtain the value of x. In the second question here we are also meant to obtain the value of a. While in the third question, we are meant to find the value of c. So now let's go to the solutions. For the first one, we have 2 in bracket x plus 5 minus 12 is equals to 4. Now we want to solve this question. If you observe carefully, we have difference between these questions and the one we solved in our first lesson. This one involves the use of brackets, while the other ones we solve does not involve the use of brackets. So the first thing we do here, let's take a look at the note we gave initially. We said these types of equation involve the use of brackets. Now, this thing we said, here we are allowed to open the bracket and solve using any method of our choice. So the first thing we do here now is to open the brackets. And how do we open the bracket now? Now, this is what we do here. We say 2 times x. I have 2x plus 2 times 5 gives us 10. Here we bring down this minus 12 is equals to 4. Let me come again. Now to expand this bracket on the left hand side of the given equation, I say 2 times x gives us 2x, 2 times 5 gives us 10, minus 12 is equals to 4. So what next now? If you observe here, I can bring down this my 2x here. If you watch critically, I have plus 10 minus 12. Definitely it will give us minus 2 because 10 is smaller than 12. So in this case now I have what? Minus 2 is equals to 4. Now at this junction now, here will now require us to apply any suitable method of our choice. Now remember, we said we have the balancing method or the collection of like terms method. So now, for this very question, for the first question, I'm going to use the balancing method. So we say using the balancing method. And please do not forget, we said the balancing method involves you doing the same operation on both sides of the given equation. So in that case now, we have 2x minus 2 is equals to 4. Now, I want to eliminate these 2 here. So what I do, I have to balance both sides by adding plus 2 to both sides of the given equation. So in this case now, we add plus 2 to both sides of the equation. Now we said here we add plus 2 to both sides of the equation. So here we have 2x minus 2 as given earlier, then plus 2 is equals to, we have 4 here plus 2. If you observe carefully, I've added this plus 2 to both sides of the given equation to balance the method. So in this case here, minus 2 plus 2 is 0. So I'm left with 2x is equals to 4 plus 2 is 6. I now have 6. Next is to obtain the critical value of x. What I do next is to divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 2. So here now we divide both sides by 2, because 2 is the coefficient of x. So now, to obtain the value of x, we divide both sides by 2. Here we have 2x is equals to 6. Dividing both sides by 2, these 2 cancel these 2. We have x left is equals to 2 here, 1, and 2 in 6, we have 3. So we have x is equals to 3. So the critical value of x in this very question is equal to 3. So this question has been solved using the balancing method. I hope you're all following. So the next thing we do now is to solve the second question. Now the second question says we have 3 in bracket a minus 2 plus 2a is equal to 24. Okay, students, in this very question, we are going to solve this question using the collection of like terms method. Remember the first method we used the balancing method, so for here we're going to solve using the collection of like terms method. But firstly, remember like we said earlier, that here we are allowed to open the bracket and solve. Are you getting? So the first thing I will do is to open the bracket from the left hand side of the given equation. So here we have this. We put down our solution, getting that we're about to solve. Alright? That's good. So, we want to expand or to open the bracket on the left-hand side of the given equation. So we have here, as already write it down again, I have 3 in brackets a minus 2 plus 2a is equals to 24. Now, to expand this bracket, I have 3 times a, which gives us 3a, minus 3 times 2 is 6, plus I bring down this 2a, is equals to 24. Now let me come again. Now I said 3 times a is equals to 3a. 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. This 2a brought down is equals to 20. Now the next, if you observe carefully, we have 3a here, we also have 2a. They are like terms, right? So we have to group them together. So I have 3a plus 2a, grouping them together, and minus 6 is equal to 24. Now let's add up these ones. 3a plus 2a gives us 5a. I have minus 6 is equal to 24. We are now to decide which method to use. Remember, we have the balancing method and the collection of like terms method. But for our first example, I used the balancing method. This very part, I'm going to use the collection of like terms method. So in that case, what I have here, I have 5a minus 6 is equal to 24. So in that case, I have to move minus 6 from the left-hand side of the equation to the right-hand side of the given equation. So I now have 5a is equal to 24. When this minus 6 from the left-hand side moves to the right-hand side, it becomes plus 6. So I now have 5a is equal to 24 plus 6 is 30. 5a is equal to 30. So next is to obtain the critical value of a by dividing both sides of the equation with the coefficient of a, which is what? 5. So now we divide both sides. We divide both sides by 5, being the coefficient of a. So I have 5a is equal to 30. Dividing both sides by 5, both sides by 5. This 5 will cancel this 5. I'm left with a. It's equal to 5 here, I have 1. 5 in 30 gives us 6. A is equal to 6. Here, the critical value of a is what? 6, using the collection of like terms method. Alright, students. The number 3 example we have here is this. We have 4 into brackets 2c minus 5 is equal to minus 12. So here we are meant to obtain the value of c. So like earlier discussed, the first thing we do here on the left hand side of the equation is to expand the bracket. So we have 4 times 2c gives us 8c. 4 times 2c is 8c minus 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 5 is 20. Is equal to minus 12. Okay, having expanded the bracket, we've simplified to this point. So the next thing to do is to apply any suitable method of your choice. Either the balancing method or the collection of like terms method. So, but for this question, I'm going to use the collection of like terms method, which requires me to move this minus 20 from the left-hand side of the equation to the right-hand side of the equation. And take note, when minus 20 moves from the left-hand side of the equation to the right-hand side, the sign changes from minus 20 to plus 20. This will have 8c is now equal to minus 12. Moving this minus 20 to the right-hand side, it becomes plus 20. Here we have 8c is equal to minus 12 plus 20, which is same as plus 20 minus 12 is equal to 8. Next is to obtain the critical value of c. And we do that by dividing both sides of the equation by the coefficient of c, which is 8. We have divide both sides by 8. This gives us 8c is equal to 8. Dividing both sides by 8. Here also by 8. This 8 cancels this 8. We are left with c, which is equal to 8 into 8 gives us 1. And I have 1. So therefore, the critical value of C is equal to 1. Alright students, let me just throw a recap on what I've just discussed. Remember we said this is simple equation involving the use of brackets. Here we first open the bracket and then we solve using any suitable method of our choice. We first open the bracket, then we solve using any suitable method of our choice. So the first question has been solved using the balancing method. The second and the third questions are also being solved using the collection of like terms method. I believe you're following. And I also want to commend those of you that participated in my last exercise. You really did well. I'm really proud of you. So please keep the tempo going. I also have an activity for you. And this is it. We have, using any suitable method, solve the following equation. Alright students, I have an activity for you. Using any suitable method, solve the following equations. First we have 3 into bracket a plus 2 is equal to 21. Here we are meant to obtain the value of a using any method of your choice. The second one we have 60 is equal to 3 into bracket x minus 2. Here we are meant to obtain the value of x. The third one we have 3 into bracket x minus 1 is equal to 21. Here we are also meant to obtain the value of x. So you solve these 3 equations using any suitable method of your choice. But mind you, you're not meant to use one method for the 3 of them. So you mixed it up. Okay? So thank you for watching and stay safe. God bless you.